What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm waiverwirequeen. Today's episode, we are going to do a one quarterback standard non-PPR mock draft. This particular roster format is going to include a kicker and a defense. Let's get it.
Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast with Waiver Wire Queen.
If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of great content, which is going to help you prepare for your upcoming draft and help you stay competitive and ahead of your competition throughout the upcoming fantasy football season so you can achieve your ultimate goal to compete at the highest level and win your fantasy football league. Let's get into this mock draft. Keep in mind, this mock is going to be via the Sleeper app. The next mock that we're going to do, and that's going to be next Wednesday, we're going to do that mock draft on Yahoo. Let's do this. I'm excited. Again, we got to do mocks based on different roster settings because there are so many people who play fantasy football and everyone has a different roster format that they typically use. So we try to touch on a few of them. Let's get this mock going. All right, y'all. So today I am going to be picking at pick number 9. And again, throughout I'll give you some gems. I'm going to probably go running back heavy in this draft, or at least hopefully there's a good running back on the board early, and I'm going to grab my running back. This particular roster, you have to start 3 wide receivers, which is, it's all good. But nonetheless, let's hit the big start button and hit OK so we can get this draft going. There is no surprise to see Jonathan Taylor going number 1 in any draft. If he was number 1 in every draft I participated in, I would be okay with that. CMC, I'm still a bit concerned about him going that high considering his injury history. If he does end up playing the whole season, somebody's going to be very happy. However, you got to think of the injuries. Now, I wanted to go running back here first, but I'm sorry, with Jamar Chase still on the board, I'm going to go with Jamar Chase. I could have go Joe Mixon because I do believe he'll have another really good season and finish as a top 10 running back. However, I wasn't going to pass up Chase because I doubted he was going to be on the board once came back around to me. So you see Diggs is there. I don't understand why everyone is sleeping on Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a solid running back. We got to stop sleeping on Nick Chubb. He finishes within the top 10 rankings, even though he misses a few games, obviously, and then you still got to factor in Kareem Hunt is in the building, and he is still a productive running back. So we have to stop sleeping on him. However, this is a non-PPR league, so Alvin Kamara, although he still will have value, he doesn't have the value that I'm looking for in this non-PPR. I can go Javonte Williams, I can go Leonard Fournette, but I'm just gonna go with Nick Chubb because I do believe Nick Chubb is a solid running back, and he's a very good one. Keep in mind, if you are drafting Kamara, just understand that he has some legal matters going on, and that may come back to hurt him and you if you do draft him, because of the simple fact that he may miss some games. You don't know if he's going to miss games, but he may miss some games. Okay, you're starting to see some of the quarterbacks go off the board. I normally wait on the quarterback, but if it's a quarterback here that I'm really feeling and wanting to pair with, say, my wide receiver, I will, and that would be Joe Burrow. But if there's a running back here that I simply love, I'm going to go with that running back. You can see some good wide receivers on the board as well. I really love Michael Pittman. I really like Michael Pittman more than I like Terry McLaurin. And again, with that whole whatchamacallit situation, I want to get Joe Burrow, y'all. I'm going to go a little bit early to get my quarterback. Nothing wrong with grabbing your running back, your quarterback. There's nothing wrong with grabbing your quarterback early. So if you, so yeah, I grabbed my quarterback a little bit earlier than expected. I like Leonard Fournette, but I just couldn't pass up Joe Burrow right there. I typically don't do the running back, the quarterback early. I like Travis Etienne right here, so he's my other guy. So I have my two running backs to get this thing started. I'm not stressing over the wide receiver position, but I'm gonna grab some more wide receivers because in this league I would have to start 3 wide receivers. Now let's get back to where I was talking about Pittman and McLaurin. McLaurin is very talented, but I am not 100% sold on Carson Wentz. I think that Matt Ryan's going to be better than Wentz this season. Here's some other wide receivers I can look at. I like Cortland Sutton because let's be real, he has a quarterback. Allen Robinson is another wide receiver I love, and I think he's going to really, really be good. So right here, though, I'm going to take Marquise Brown. Darnell Mooney is another another wide receiver that I simply love, and I'm going to go snatch him up. I do believe Darnell Mooney will finish in the top 15 this season. That's a bold prediction, but we all about predicting here, and I do believe that he's going to obviously have a much better season than he did last year. We all know he went over 1,000 yards. Even though Justin Fields was very inconsistent as a rookie, I do expect some great things from Mooney this year. My mind is freezing up on everyone. Tight end, I don't have to stress and grab a tight end early, but if I were to, I like Goddard. I like him a little bit more than Dawson Knox. I do believe with Dawson Knox, he had a good season, but those touchdowns really helped him a bit. I like Pat Freiermuth. Mike Gesicki, I really like him, but it feels like they're going to be utilizing him slightly different. Zach Ertz, I love him this year, especially with Hopkins missing some games. So what did I say I was going to do here? I have my 3. Okay, I have my 3 and my 3. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look to add another running back. I do believe Tony Pollard is going to be good. I like Cordell Patterson, but I like Tony Pollard slightly bit more. When it comes back around, if there's a running back that I love, I'm going to snatch another running back. And Chase Edmonds, I'm just going to go and do it. And again, make sure when you are drafting players, whether that's at any position, you are making sure that you look at the bye weeks. Nothing like drafting your 2 quarterbacks and they both have a bye week the same week. I don't think we mention that often, and I'm sure that I haven't, but make sure that you are checking that out because you don't want to waste a pick on a quarterback or any player that's on a bye week, or you have too many players at various positions with the same bye week. That's going to create issues for you, and you can guarantee yourself a loss that week, and you don't want to go into a draft and complete a draft and be guaranteed any losses based on the bye week situation. That would be crazy. So right now I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds. I really like James Cook, definitely good PPR back. Ramondre Stevenson will be another great option here in this non-PPR league. So keep in mind, this is non-PPR. I still think some of these guys will have value. Edmonds, he's the lead back, but preferably in a PPR league, he's going to be even better. I really am not a fan of Claypool, but what I'm going to do right down here, and I'm going to go get Kadarius Toney. I think he should be rated a little bit higher. The biggest issue with Kadarius Toney is injuries. Can he stay healthy? Is he going to be healthy? That's hard to determine. He already the other day had some health issues. Who am I going to draft here? I'm going to look at the tight end position. Let's see. I want to grab my tight end. I do feel like there's a few more tight ends a little bit later on down the line that I can wait on. And so I'm going to look to see who else I would draft. Michael Gallup, he's going to start the season off on physically unable to perform list. He is a must draft still in a redraft league and obviously in dynasty. However, in a redraft league, you just got to understand that he's not going to be starting immediately. So you want to keep that in mind because you're going to have to plan accordingly. So there are several players here I like. I do like Gallup. Christian Watson, I don't think he's going to – I think he'll be great this year. Well, solid this year in a dynasty league. I don't know if I don't really trust him in a redraft league is what I will say. He's a rookie. We know how Aaron Rodgers is with wide receivers when they not catching the ball and doing what he is expecting them to do. So again, I'm just looking to see who's available. I'm gonna go look at the running backs as well. I don't trust Michael Carter. Just gonna come over here and just do this. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna come down here. Instead of going Ronald Jones, I'm just going to take a wild chance on Pierce because I do believe that Pierce is going to have some really good value this season. He's getting a lot of reps with the first team. And regardless if he doesn't win the job as the lead back, he's going to have a role. And then at some point during the season, he's going to take over that starting position. So you can bet your money on that. So now I'm coming here and I think I'm going to take a gamble again because I still feel like there's a tight end that I can wait on. So I'm going to come back here and look at the running back position again. I like Tyler Algier. I do like Marlon Mack. So what I'm going to do here is I'm most likely going to add Marlon Mack because still right now he is the starter. The goal for me is to have starters on my team and preferably on my bench. You know, I want all starters here. Okay, that is great. That's great. You want to have the I got all starters problems, right? All starters. So let's come here and look at this tight end position. I think Irv Smith is in line for a big year if he can remain healthy. I'm going to come down here and I'm going with Tyler Higbee. That's the guy I wanted to get. I knew I can get him, and I was able to add some more players prior to drafting him. I think Austin Hooper is in line for a big season this year. Don't be drafting Rob Gronkowski. Just stop doing it, okay? Y'all need to stop. Don't do it. He is not playing this year, as we know. Gerald Everett is in line for a big year. Let's see if he can produce. I said he was going to have a big year last year. He did not. I'm saying he's going to have a big year this season. He is. And also look for Donald Parham. He's another tight end with the Chargers, who is making some noise. He was their guy last year. He was seeing a lot of action in the red zone, and he may steal some time from Gerald Everett. And if he does, you know, that's a great option at some point, especially in a deep league. So consider him. So let me go look and see what else is out there. I do like Tolbert this year. I'm just not trusting Mecole Hardman. I don't trust Devontae Parker. So what I'm going to come do is, again, know your starting quarterback's bye week. So I know that my starting quarterback bye week, which I can't find it here, but again, know your starting quarterback's bye week so you can plan accordingly, because nothing like having your starting he's week 10, nothing like having your starting quarterback and your backup quarterback out the same week. Now you're really going to be stressing because how do you plan for that? You're going to have to figure something out. So I need to look here and see what I want to do. I do believe Tolbert is going to have a really nice role, if nothing else, early on for the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm okay with drafting him. And remember to keep in mind, this is a redraft league for us. And this is an excellent move here. I do want to check to see the bye week for Tyler Higbee. Again, these are things you should be checking during your draft. Before your draft, have a plan in mind and target your players. If you're able to get the guys you want, just make sure you're not drafting everybody again who have the same bye week. I've watched it, and it can really hurt your team. This is great late. If he's still on the board this late, then you draft him, because you know that he should play very well. I mean, hell, who else they gonna be throwing the ball to? Because they ain't gonna be able to get it down the field out in Seattle. So Locke and Smith, they're gonna be targeted. Noah Fant a whole lot. And now I need a backup quarterback. And again, I know that my starting quarterback, his bye week is week 10. So I'm looking at some of these guys to see what their bye week is. I do believe that out of these guys, the one that I would trust the most would be Ryan Tannehill. So he would be the one that I get. I do believe he'll end up being the quarterback for the remainder of the Tennessee Titans season, unless they just stink it up so bad that they're not even in playoff contention early on. Then you may see Malik Willis. But in a redraft, when I look at these guys, I think I trust him more than obviously Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz. Let me go with Ryan Tannehill. And let me just be quiet and get Ryan Tannehill, y'all, and just do what I need to do. And that's it. But again, have a game plan. That is the ultimate goal. Have a game plan. Know what you're trying to do. Again, I need a kicker in the defense. I could look now since I have 4 spots. Again, we typically don't have leagues that we use the kicker in the defense anymore. So what I want to do is start looking to see who's on the board. He is one of the top kickers in fantasy. He was last year. And then I want to look at some of these defenses to see like who do I want? Who do I trust? Who do I feel is going to be solid this year? And again, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my kicker. He's a kicker that I want. I know that somebody done drafted Tucker already, as you can see, gone. And you'll start seeing don't draft no kicker extra early. I've watched people draft kickers in like the 7th round, and it's like, come on. And I don't recommend drafting 2 kickers and 2 defenses. Give yourself that flexibility to where you can have another positional player, and then when it's time to make moves to add a second kicker when your kicker's on a bye week. But don't do that. Don't hold your team up with that. Okay, Tampa, I think could be good. Don't trust Washington. Tennessee, it's a no for me. Pittsburgh will be much improved this year. Philly is going to be improved this year. The Saints, they were solid last year, regardless of losing some key players. I do believe they'll still be a solid defense. Miami finished very high in the defensive rankings. The Cowboys, another defense I like. I like defenses that's going to give me some whatchamacallit. I like defense that's going to give me points based on the turnover. So there's some defenses here when you look at it. For me, I'm going to come up here, and I think the rankings are a little off, but for me, I like the Bills. That's another defense. They are solid. So they ranked 4th. And again, the rankings for the defense is a slightly bit off. So what I'm going to do here is, again, I have 3 picks left, and I want to go and just make sure there's no good players still available that I can potentially draft and have in my starting line. I'm just going to come over here and just grab me Austin Hooper because I like the fact that he's still here. Don't do this to yourself. And now you're starting to see the defenses go, and I'm going to come down here and just grab a defense. Going late. Don't reach for a defense where you can have a good player. I'm just going to come here and grab the Bills. So I think that defense is going to be even better this year. And that's it. You see everybody's grabbing their defense, and that's typically what happens towards the end of the draft. And that is what it is. And now I'm going to just add another I'm going to add the best available player for my team. And see, I do believe Wan'Dale's going to have a role. So he's probably going to be the player that I look at. And I do believe he's going to have a role even in a redraft format. So I'm going to take a chance on him. Isaiah McKenzie is another player who may make some noise as well. And that is our mock. Let's look at our team to see exactly what we did. So you see the starting lineup is slightly it's very impressive. I'm sorry, it is. I do believe Kadarius is going to have a big season this year, guys. So check for Kadarius Toney. If you have an opportunity to draft him because I think it's going down for Kadarius this season. Here is my team again. I feel like with this was a still Noah Fant, he can easily slide in as my starter. The concern for me with Higbee is he's always hurt. He'll find a way to get hurt, and that's obviously an issue. All right, y'all, make sure you leave some comments and let me know your thoughts on my standard mock draft. Again, we'll have another mock draft for you next Wednesday. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We have a lot of great content, which is going to help you throughout your fantasy football season so you can stay ahead of your competition and compete at the highest level every week. So make it to the playoffs and win your fantasy football league, because that is the ultimate goal. Make sure you tune in on Friday. We have a great episode. I'll talk about 3 rookies who I believe are going to have a good season in a redraft league. So these 3 rookies are draftable in a redraft league. I'll see you on Friday. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks for listening to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast.